perfect, Grant. That is absolutely perfect. You nailed it because we wanted to wait till Ethan got back from his suspension here, and college basketball is underway. And this is our predictions sure to go wrong, but we're going to just give our preseason Final Four teams of who we think is going to be playing in. Where is the Final Four this year?
Phoenix.
In Phoenix. Okay.
Phoenix, baby.
Back at State Farm Stadium. We're going to see who's going to be hanging the or cutting down the nets in the first weekend in April. So I guess since we'll just keep going snake, and then we'll get the curveball of the week. And Ethan, after 2 weeks off, he's going to have a good one, I bet. But my Final Four teams are Kansas, because right now they're the number one team. And like Grant said, basketball season is underway. I watched them last night. And then my second team is going to be Texas A&M. Very talented group in Buzz Williams. Buzz Williams has been close, hasn't quite been able to get over that hump and get into the Final Four. I think this is the year. They've got a senior backcourt, really just a really solid team all around. And then my third team, I'm going to go with another team that has been close. And a team that lost and their season ended way too soon before most people expect. I'm going to go with the Purdue Boilermakers. I think this is the year Matt Painter gets over the hump and makes it to the Final Four. And then my fourth team is we're going to go back to the SEC. And I'm going to go with the Kentucky Wildcats. I think this is more of a John Calipari-led team or type of team where he's going to just listening to some college basketball experts, they've said that it felt like the last few years is where he just was doing too much coaching instead of letting just roll the ball out and letting them play, which has been when Calipari's been at his best team. And it feels like this is going to be one of those teams where he's going to just roll the ball out and let those guys play, let those guys figure it out. They might get off to a little bit of a slow start. He's embraced that the transfer portal. If he can get guys to buy in and keep going, I think this is a year he gets back to the Final Four. I think I've had them as Final Four teams in my bracket or a preseason the last few years. So I'm going to go with Kansas, Texas A&M, Purdue, Kentucky as my Final Four teams.
Yeah, Dylan, if people didn't know you, they'd think you were a Wildcats fan with how often you have them in the Final Four. But I'm with you, dude. I think the one team that we're going to agree on, and the only team we're going to agree on is the Kansas Jayhawks. You bring in Dickinson and Hunter in the offseason, and whenever Bill Self has a big man, that's when his teams are at his best, and he was an absolute animal last night. I know, sure, they only had 4 points off their bench, but they probably have the best starting five in the country right now. So I'm going to go Kansas 1, and then I think the defending champs get back to the Final Four. I'm going to go UConn. I think Bobby Hurley's building something there in Connecticut, and they're just going to keep this thing rolling. And then a second team from the Big East, the team actually I watched last night, the Creighton Blue Jays. I think McDermott's going to get there. They got, the South Dakota State transfer. I'm drawing a blank on his name.
Taylor Shireman.
Yep, he's coming back this year for another year. They got that big 7-footer who absolutely dominated Iowa last night. He's going to be a matchup nightmare. Mm-hmm. And I kind of think this is the year they take it over the top. It's kind of a bummer they lost their point guard again, I believe Gonzaga, in the transfer portal. So we'll see how that works because point guards win tournaments in March. But I don't know. That tough Elite Eight loss last year. I think Creighton's going to find a way to get there. And then kind of my wild card team. I love this coach so much, Scott Drew. I'm going to go the Baylor Bears.
Ooh, Baylor making a comeback.
So big Big 12 and big East guy over here for college basketball.
All right, Ethan, best for last. What do you got?
All right. So I guess that makes us 3 for 3. I'm going Kansas. I do think they're the best team in the country right now. They looked phenomenal last night.
Cross Kansas off. They're not going to the Final Four.
Sorry, guys.
Just like how we all had North Carolina last year.
I'm actually going back with a team that did it last year. It's not UConn. We're going to the Cinderella, Florida Atlantic. We're going back.
I thought about
everyone back.
I
They
thought
bring
about them.
everyone back. Coach
I thought about them. Yeah.
Third team, I just watched them the other night versus a Big Ten team, Wisconsin. Tennessee. They played Wisconsin. They are literally like an anaconda. They just slowly suck the life out of you defensively. Like they are unbelievable defensively. They have the great point guard. Ziegler, I think his name is. Sophomore, back from his ACL injury from the end of last year. They didn't have him for the tournament run last year and still went as far as they did. And then this is a total, I shouldn't say a joke, but Dylan, I know, has been a homer a couple times now with picking Michigan. Why the hell not? Let's go Minnesota. I mean, who cares? Like, come on. Like, we're 2-0. I'm going to the game tomorrow. Like, Grant's going to the game tomorrow. They're going to beat Missouri.
Play?
Missouri.
Oh.
And the whole, after tomorrow, the whole city's going to be behind them. This is Ben's year, and we're going to do big things. You know, bring back the 97 banner. Fuck them. We did it. We made it. Fuck those tests.
That's right. We covered that in the book.
Hey, in Minnesota, it's not Minnesota Gopher football season. It's not hockey season. It's men's basketball season.
It's Gopher basketball season. Yeah.
That's right. And the
Fuck
Gophers
you,
are
PJ.
going back.
It's Gopher basketball season, according to Ethan.